Vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
Stop. I have it up.
Okay.
But yeah, hi, this is Vag.
We're back. We're back in the Jeep Compass.
Yes, our main office. We have an office now.
We have an office, which is a traveling office.
It's called a car.
It is a Jeep.
It's a Jeep. And we are in the East Village, Alphabet City area.
This is our second podcast of the day.
Yeah, we did one of Ari's and we talked about our periods, which got political.
Well, periods are political.
They really are. It's a dividing topic.
Yeah. Are you
for them or against them? I'm against them.
Tampons and, are you a tampon or a pad person? It's like Republican or Democrat.
Totally. I go both ways. And that's how I actually vote.
Both ways?
Yeah, I can go both ways.
It's interesting. My ex-boyfriend went during the last election, didn't tell me who he voted for, so I'm assuming he didn't vote for Obama. Because I feel like everyone was voting for Obama, and he was like, that's like a private thing. And this is a guy who told me awful things about himself.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, anytime someone's like, that's a private thing, you're like, you're going for the one that everyone else thinks you're evil for voting for.
Who is it, McCain? Was that who everyone was voting
against? Yeah, but McCain's actually a really nice guy.
Now everyone probably wishes Trump was McCain.
Yes. But he's not. But Trump's funnier than McCain.
Yeah. Trump's way funnier.
But it's just funnier when you just say whatever is on the top of your head with no filter.
Did you watch the last debate?
I did. I'm a big fan. I miss
big
those
fan.
Too. I love those. She's the straight man to his craziness.
I have to be honest, they're the only debates I think I've actually watched ever. I
enjoy them.
I never watch the debates. I never care about them.
I feel like for ratings, NBC or whatever network,
they should give them a show. They
Yeah.
should give them a show.
I would watch it.
That
or
would
just
be a
give
great
Trump
idea.
a show and have an opposing view, so he can just be like,
anybody.
wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
I like those commercials where it's like there was somebody with an autistic child who's a Republican, and then she's seen Trump making fun of the retarded person or something.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm crossing lines because of my retarded kid.
Yeah.
And then Hillary's like, I approve this message. I'd like to see the messages they don't approve of, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God,
that would be way
funny.
that'd be way more interesting. Where it's
I don't approve this message, but
where they're
I can't say they're wrong.
Where all of the people's families that the Clintons had killed off, and the Clintons like, I do not approve of this message. I did not murder all of these people. I am not approving of this.
When have you seen a commercial for a candidate that
and
is
somebody
for them, but they're like, I still don't approve of this.
I don't approve of this.
I don't like what. See, they should just do that. They should make campaign commercials that are brutally attacking the opponent, and then at the end, she just shows up. She's like, I don't condone this, but I'm still gonna let this air.
It is a free country, and if you elect me, I'm still gonna let everything fly.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell people where to spend their money, but if they want to make a commercial like this, then that's fine by me. But I'm not going to approve this message.
But I am going to still put it on the air.
I will still let them put this on the air. Yeah.
I don't know. It was interesting, though, because I was, live tweeting it. And there were some people who were saying, and we talked about this a little bit on the podcast, that Haitians actually hate Hillary because she embezzled money that was supposed to go towards the Haiti fund.
Okay.
So a lot of older Haitians that are Americans are not going to vote for her. They're going to vote for Trump. So it is interesting that there are that dynamic where you just think everyone who's Hispanic or black is going to vote necessarily for her, but that's not true.
Yeah. Just because you are non-white doesn't mean that you're going to vote for Hillary.
No, it is kind of interesting.
And I still have a feeling there's probably a lot of Hispanics or Mexicans that will vote for Trump, even though
I've seen
he's claimed that they're rapists.
I've seen it online. Well, because also there are people that are like, well, he's not talking about me.
Yeah, he's talking about
real
my
Mexican
cousin.
rapists.
Yeah.
like that guy that raped somebody, but I'm not a rapist.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he wins just 'cause my life's so awful. I want everyone else's to be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm at.
It's like, I'm just going to vote for him 'cause I'm bringing down everybody.
I want everyone to just be awful. They're like, he's going to be terrible for the economy.
Well, my thought is, I feel like I'm so poor that
That's what I think.
that
I
when
want everyone else to be poor.
it's not going to hit me that hard.
No.
I don't think I'm Sarah Talamash. We didn't introduce ourselves.
I mean, okay, I'm Adrienne and
If you guys are just checking in right now.
If you just randomly hit on Vag and you're like, who are these two awesome
and
girls?
then skipped 10 minutes
Yes.
into the podcast.
You were like, let me guess where I've seen these two women at.
Yes.
Was it at a Polish diner?
What we did a pre-podcast there, unrecorded.
Those are always our best podcasts.
Those are our best. We should just have lavalier mics on us recording at all times.
We should.
We ran into the guys we fucked podcast ladies.
And they were so much better dressed than us. They were like all glammed up.
They looked so great, and Adrienne and I are both wearing hoodies and unkempt hair that I haven't showered.
No makeup.
No makeup.
Sneakers.
And then I guess
They
we
were
were
all
like
dressed up. They had
dressed
their
for the job that
makeup-
you want.
They had makeup on and like nice jackets.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, is that why you guys
They
have
look like-
100,000 downloads?
Yeah, they look like they weren't recording in a car.
No. Oh, yeah. And then we're like, we're going to try to get them to come into our car.
and record the podcast
Record
with
them
us.
and just roast them and then drop them off at the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure one of their
mad respect for them.
I'm sure one of their followers will pick them up. and
Totally.
drive them
I
back
would
the
love to
city.
get. Oh, yeah, yeah. You just tweet at them. They have so many listeners or followers. They're probably, one of them has driven by them, will drive by them on the turnpike and be like, I got you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We need to, that's the kind of listenership. Vaggies.
How do you get that?
Well,
I think you just be ultra racist or like misogynistic.
yeah, we have to Ann Coulter this shit.
What does she do again? She's racist.
Yeah, you say that 9/11 widows are just self-centered women looking for attention.
Is that what
Is
she
that one?
said?
I think that was one of them. One of her platforms that she stood on.
I'm sure they are. They're looking
All
for
Mexicans
attention.
are rapists. That's a Trump one, but she stands behind that. I
She
think.
stands behind that.
She was like, I was raped by a Mexican.
Was she?
No, but
But she said if she was going to get raped, she knows it would be by a Mexican.
if I was gonna get raped,
Would it be by A, Mexican, B,
B.
a Puerto Rican, or C, a Dominican?
that's a good question.
Probably Mexican,
That's
right?
I feel like this is a trap.
I also think Mexicans are working really hard. They're not raping.
No, they're too busy.
I mean, I guess there's some that are unemployed while they're just
Yeah.
waiting.
You know,
Like the ones that don't get picked up to go work.
I've never
Those landscape
understood
jobs.
that stereotype because I feel like all Mexicans work way harder than I will ever work in my entire life.
Yeah, it's like that joke I have because they want to stay in the country.
Yeah.
We're already here. There's no motivation for us. I am not
No.
motivated at all because there's nothing. I will never get kicked out of America. I can murder 35 people. I'm going to go to a jail that's much nicer than a third world country that somebody's going to get sent back to.
Oh yeah, I like
There's
for-
there's nothing for me.
like you feel like for you, like most people will be like, oh, the Bronx is a slum, but for somebody that came from a third world country, they're like, this is pretty great. I like that I have 8 roommates. That's like Brooklyn though. You have 8 roommates in Brooklyn.
I don't even. Yeah, they think it's amazing. They're like, you're running water.
I went to go look at an apartment in Brooklyn, and it was like a 2-bedroom, and the landlord was like, he tried to make this little space under the stairwell. He's like, you could fit one more person in there. I'm like, no.
That's hilarious. Like, I guess you're hiding them from the government.
Yeah, like one of the rooms, you couldn't even stand up all the way up. You had to like be hunched over the whole time while you're in your room. That I was like, That's not, and you were still paying like $1,200 a month
To live in the under the stair, the under the stairs person has to pay $1,200 a month.
It was at one of those like expensive artist lofty looking apartments.
That doesn't seem fair that you have to pay so much more.
No, well, Brooklyn is a it's one big ripoff. Especially it was in the Williamsburg area.
So what if you and another tiny person were sleeping under the stairs? Then it's $600 each.
Yeah, we would split it.
That's not that bad.
No, do you ever look at? Sometimes I've seen in the city homeless setup so good that you're like, that's actually not bad.
Like when the guy has kind of like the perfect box. When he has like everything set up right.
The most.
Like he's got just the right amount of sleeping bags where he could run away quickly with them.
Yes.
And it's also enough cushioning.
Yeah, and that you won't get bought. Like people are gonna respect it. I saw one guy have a nice mattress under the stairwell of a upper level subway track.
That's I wouldn't want to live under a subway though, but
That's
I
true.
get it.
But if you're just so bombed out of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was homeless, I would start drinking again.
Oh, totally. That would be my goal. My number one job is to look for drugs so I could sleep properly.
I think I would just try and overdose. I think if I was like just homeless and I'd given up, like how long am I homeless for? Like a year or two? Am I still trying to do comedy? Like am I still writing jokes and going to places?
I think you could still do it.
I'm still doing it, but like am I getting a shower in? Am I like totally everyone's like, "Oh, Adrienne's here. It's just going to be weird. Don't make eye contact with her."
I would let you come use my shower.
That's really nice.
You could hang out on my couch during the day too.
Okay, so that's cool. So I'm hanging out with you, but eventually you're going to get sick of that and you're going to like kick me out.
That usually happens, yeah.
Right. So now I'm on the street. I'm not getting the showers regularly and I'm just like starting to stink.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to save my money and I'm going to just get some heroin and overdose.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That's if I was going to kill myself. I was just talking about this with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justy Dodge.
Yes.
I was talking about how we were going to kill ourselves. I said heroin's for me. She said like let's jump off a building and I'm like I don't want my body just like splattered everywhere.
No, and then people have to like
clean up a cleanup crew.
Yeah, and you might kill someone on the way down.
I don't even care about
but
that.
I feel like that's your style.
Yeah, I wouldn't even care. I just said I wouldn't care about killing somebody else.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be splattered everywhere. That's not my thing.
Here's one incident that I knew everyone I'm hanging out with suffers from depression except my one friend. We played this game. How would you kill yourself?
And they were like, I would never.
No, everyone was like, mine was like, I would gas myself in a car. The others were like, shoot myself in the head. Like very depressing. And then my one friend was like, I would rent a Corvette and drive it over a cliff. And I was like, clearly you don't suffer from depression if that's your way out.
Your way out is like renting a Corvette on a beautiful day.
Yeah.
No, that's not. I think heroin's probably amazing.
Yeah. I just knew that I was like, she definitely, she doesn't get this game.
No.
You're out.
So you're going to gas yourself?
I was going to do carbon monoxide.
I thought of that too, but my mom's garage is so full of shit. I'd have to clean it out first.
I think that's good because it blocks it all in.
I couldn't even fit a car in there.
She wouldn't even notice.
No, she has so much shit in there. There's
oh,
no room
that's what
for
you're
a
saying.
car.
I got what you're saying.
I'd have to clean it out first.
Then maybe
and
that's
then
not the way for you.
Heroin, yeah.
Heroin's the way.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sounds like I always think a drug overdose sounds like the best way to go.
Would you write letters to people?
No.
Emails?
I would say I would send out my I love yous, and this is not personal.
You would do that.
But I'm not going to send out of like,
Dear John.
I'm not going to make people like, do you ever, when people put those long Facebook posts that are like about their sad lives,
Are they
I'm
going to
like
kill
this.
themselves after?
You got to bullet point this because this is way too long. Like
Just
I can't get through this.
I got to just get to the end if you write, so that's why I'm killing myself. In summation, that is why I'm killing myself.
I know. I like if I'm reading an article and I'm like this skip, not interesting, like it's not a good. You got to get to the good stuff.
Come on, quick.
Yeah.
I have the attention span of a squirrel.
Also, I feel like most reasons. No, that's not true because I feel like if you're thinking about suicide, it's not because like I didn't get this part, or it's just like I keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, but I'm getting the same results, and I don't know how to change myself.
Yeah, you mean just like with comedy, or you mean in life?
Just in life in general, like I can't change this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if I would write a bunch of letters. It seems exhausting.
I feel like by the time you finish writing all those
would
letters, you
change your
feel
mind.
better about yourself.
Yeah, I used to have a joke about how like by the end of it I would change my mind. Like I'd write all these letters out and then I'd be like, ugh.
I know, or like you have to go out and get
I think
paper.
I'd write one huge like letter and I would just be like, it's all your faults. Then I would just say goodbye.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how much that would suck if you survived your suicide and you left that kind of note. Like,
and then everyone
well,
was
not
like, what's
all of
my
you.
fault?
You're like, well, if you don't know.
No, I think I guess
Then.
maybe I'd just make a bunch of copies of it and write names on them.
Yeah. Copy and paste where they're like, wait a minute. I think she just copy and pasted all of this.
Did your letter? What does your letter say? Did your letter say it's your fault?
Wait a minute.
It's
the
all
only
your
thing
fault?
that's different is our names in this.
It's all your fault?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, you think about it, and then you're like, yeah, but Christmas is coming up and presents are nearby.
That's true. I would think after my birthday. That's a real depressing time.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you try to
February?
break up with somebody and you're like, ugh, I can't because like
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the
New Year's.
pattern I'm in right now. So me and my boyfriend, I guess, are like every other week. It's like a breakup to get back together, breakup to get back together. And then you're like, well, do you really want to be single for the holidays? Not even for the gifts. Just the holidays seem so sad when you're by yourself.
Yeah, especially like I guess like Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. Those all seem really sad by yourself.
True. I think I spent one Christmas, but it wasn't completely by myself. It was just with my roommates. It was pretty fucking good.
Really? Were you guys drinking?
No, this was when I was sober. But there was something nice about not having to travel.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't travel 'cause I live in the Bronx. And
That's
my mom
true.
does. I haven't been single for Christmas in 12 or 13 years.
That's a long time.
I know. Isn't that like so weird? I was just thinking about that.
What do you do? This is my dilemma with being in a relationship in the holidays. I only want to go spend Christmas with my family, and then I know Joe only wants to spend it with his family. That I don't think, if we don't have kids, is there anything wrong with us spending Christmas with both of our families?
No.
'Cause I don't like the splitting.
I feel
half
like if
day.
you're okay with it and he's okay with it, then yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or you can do like Thanksgiving with your family and Christmas with his.
Yeah.
If if you wanted to, if you had kids, I guess. But like, all right, say you were going to have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and you are the same age.
Yes.
How many more years do we really have? Like, I
To
guess.
be alive?
No, let's say we're not going to kill ourselves.
Okay.
How many more years do we have to have kids biologically and not adopting them?
Okay. Probably up until we're 45 now.
And
Janet
even-
Jackson's 50.
That's crazy. That's like fake. I don't think that's real.
Yeah, that is bonkers.
I don't think that's real. I think 45. I really think 42, 43.
Okay.
And that's really old.
Yeah, because when you think about your kid just graduating high school, you're like, I will be close to 70.
Right. And then at that point when you're 70 and you're like, get home by 12 o'clock, you're like going to sleep at like 8.
Yeah. And you don't have the energy. And we talked about that earlier, and I always agreed with, I think it was Nate Bargatze's joke of like, I think the best time to have kids is when you're a teen mom.
Yeah, I agree.
Because also your parents are helping you out. The whole town feels so bad for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you do get
My
shunned
mom.
a little bit,
Yeah.
but
I
they're
mean,
still willing to raise that
I
child.
think the thing is this, you are kind of sacrificing your childhood, but you're having a better adult life.
Yes. And most I don't know.
I had a pretty good childhood, but I also know that if I had kids when I was a child, my mom would have done nothing for me.
Yeah.
She already made that abundantly clear. She told me.
Well, I always like that. What's your bit? If your mom said she'd be a surrogate.
Yeah, that joke for some reason it just doesn't. It hasn't been working, but
I think it's so funny.
I know, but it doesn't work. I don't know. It hasn't been working the last couple times I did it. My mom wants me to have a baby. She was like, even if you can't carry it, I'll be your surrogate. And I was like, you won't even let me store my bike at your house.
There's
And
no room.
I know, but that's like something my mom like. She had a bike. I had a bike in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and
She's like, it's in the way.
She made me get rid of it because she said it was a fire hazard. And I'm like, why are you exiting through the basement? Like, it doesn't even it makes no sense. You just don't want me to have
Yeah.
a bike in the house.
It was just one extra thing she didn't want to deal with.
But that's probably what she would do with a baby. She'd be like, the baby's in the way.
Yeah, and then it's always used against you.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
That's why you have to get a stranger to be your surrogate. 'Cause then,
Right. And then my mom would always be like, hey, I carried you. Your mom did nothing.
yeah.
My mom would always do that. She's that type of person.
Yeah.
She'd be like, your mom was just out doing
I'm
nothing.
actually your...
I'm really your mom.
I'm really...
Your mom was out doing comedy while I was home resting, carrying you in my old lady body.
Wait, can an old lady body... Can an old woman who's not getting her period still deliver babies? Can you still store them in there? Because
Like
technically...
Tupperware?
I'm like, can we just store them in guys' bodies too?
I don't know. She might still get her period.
I guess it's 'cause we have
The
a
reproductive
uterus.
organs?
a little pocket to put our babies in.
Yeah, I don't think guys can, but
I'm sure we could find some space in their bodies to put a baby.
in their asses? I mean, there's something
Yeah.
they sit on.
There's like hole in their asshole.
I don't know if we
Outs-
could do that.
Once you get through the asshole, there's a bunch of space.
A bunch of space. We already
Yeah.
went through that, yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about, I wanted to invent this thing where it's this tube that you put in your asshole that feels like a vagina. So when a guy is fucking another guy through the ass, it feels like he's also putting his dick in a pussy.
It's like, wow, I'm fucking a guy.
Your
but
asshole's so wet
Your-
right now.
your asshole's so wet like a pussy. This is real ass puss.
That's what it's called.
Ass puss.
Ass puss. Get your ass puss today.
So it would just secrete like
It'd
some
be
kind
like a spongy, wet, like, you know those dinosaurs?
dinosaurs. No, I don't.
Those-
What
those little-
dinosaurs?
They start off little, and then you put them in a bottle of water or a jar of water, and then
Yeah.
they expand. It's like that material.
Oh, so
It's like a wet, slimy sponge that's thick.
Oh, so you're putting that inside your asshole.
It's in the tube with ridges, so it feels like a pussy. 'Cause
How do you get? Now let me ask something. How do you get this in the asshole?
you just slide it in there like a suppository, but you keep it in there. Like, if you can keep
And
anal
then-
beads in there, you can keep ass puss in there.
Okay, so and then does it expand once it's in there?
I mean, no.
Because then a dick has to go through it.
Yes, but dicks go through it all anyway in that life, in that world. I don't know. Now I'm just lost in my presentation.
you're not.
You found me. I'm at
You're
a
not.
board
I'm
meeting.
sorry. No,
trying to-
you're not. We're workshopping it. This is a great idea. Don't give up on your dream. Ass puss is a good idea. So it's kind of like a circular thing.
Yeah.
It goes. So
It's a tube.
okay. So kind of like a tampon almost.
Yeah.
So it's like a tampon applicator. It goes in the butt.
Into the butt, and the inner part of the tube
Expands.
feels like a pussy.
Right. But that expands though. It has to expand so a dick could go inside
A
of
dick
it.
can go inside of it.
And then it feels the gel inside.
yeah, so you're fucking an ass, but at the same time it feels like a pussy.
Right. Because like you said, when you're fucking an ass, there's no.
Yeah, I just think once you get past the asshole, it's all open air in there.
It's all open, right? So
there's no squeeze around the dick.
and there's no, I guess, lubrication.
Yeah,
So that's why you need the ass puss.
get it.
I mean, genius idea.
I think it's genius. I think it'd be really easy to make. You just get a toilet roll
No,
and then you glue.
no, not a
the
toilet roll. You get a tampon applicator.
True. It needs. I guess it needs to expand.
Well, yeah, it would be like that's the dinosaur sponge
All right. So we're starting a Kickstarter.
to make it. I think we should make cum booties.
Oh, I'm into Cum Booties.
I think they're a lot easier to make.
Oh, super easy.
Cum booties are little booties.
If you guys go back to episode 1,
whatever episode we talked about Cum Booties. It's these little booties. It's almost like little booties for kids' feet, but
yeah.
you come into them and then you take like the little wrapper off and then you the adhesive, it sticks together, so you just dispose of it. So your cum is in there. It's like a little sock for your cum.
Well, it's like that. Remember that video of that?
Put your cum in a cum booty. Put your cum in a cum booty.
Cum booty.
Cum booty.
It sounds Japanese. Oh, me like my cum booty.
My cum booty go everywhere. Cum booty. It does actually sound like it would be a Japanese product. I bet you they would go crazy for it there.
Yeah, I love Japanese inventions.
You just get a guy doing karate. And then
and a psychedelic background, and then a close-up of him going, oh, cum booty.
Yeah, and it's like these little booties that you just take the thing off and you cum in it. I think mothers would love that instead of kids just coming into their socks all the time.
Or pillowcases.
Or whatever.
Oh, my God. Having a boy in those years, you're just like, your whole room is just covered in jizz.
Yeah, and guys really... I remember one time I was having sex with my ex-boyfriend, and we were in his friend's apartment. We were young. We were like 19, 20 years old. We were in his friend's apartment, and he just came on his floor. like he didn't even think that was disgusting. He just came on his rug.
No, I know. It's heinous. I think, like, have we talked about this or this is the last episode? Like sex robots?
Yes. What are you going to make? That was your other invention.
Oh, yeah.
Child robots.
Oh,
no,
child dolls that you can fuck.
For pedophiles.
For pedophiles, so they don't fuck your kids.
Another
I know
great
it's
invention.
so dark, but I think it's going to help society, and it's a weird thing to get.
I think it's a great idea for all these pedophiles who are just like, I want to fuck a kid, but I can't. It's
or
against
the law.
Or I shouldn't.
So I know you don't have the money to go to Thailand.
Right. So he's like, let me just get this kid.
Let's get this kid doll.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want to it.
I think it's great.
Or you could just buy an old My Buddy and jerk off all over.
Imagine that, My Buddy commercial.
Or your loved one is like, I couldn't afford the actual child doll, so I just got you an old My Buddy, and you can just jerk off onto it.
Or Teddy Ruxpin. If you pull his back, he says
it's
a
not
bunch
the
of
same
stuff.
Thing. Boo.
You're just pulling his back, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah." whatever. What does Teddy Ruxpin say?
I forgot. Oh, would you like to hear a story?
Yeah, I'd like to hear a
Shut
story.
up. You just jizz on it.
I'd like to hear that story.
No, I just think it was sex bots with guys. Guys are so bad at cleaning and taking care of stuff and being hygienal or whatever the word is. Hygienic.
Yeah, all over the floor.
That robot is just, you're never going to change your cum receptacle. It's just going to be, you're just going to have to buy a new one.
Well,
'cause they're gross.
Maybe there would be a cum booty inside it that you would change.
That's not a bad idea.
Now we're marketing two
cum
products
booty
in
sold
one.
separately.
Cum booty sold separately. Robot doll for you.
I feel like Aaron Berg when we do this.
Shout out to Aaron Berg.
Hi, Aaron. I'm sure he's not listening.
No.
Oh, didn't we killed it on his podcast the other day?
Oh yeah, me. So I spent $30 to park in Times Square to do 20 minutes on his podcast, which
we
was...
didn't even do 20.
Oh, maybe it was 10 minutes.
It was like 2 minutes. And then they were like, they go, we're really bad at interviewing.
And we were like, great. Well, didn't they do ISIS faggot?
They did ISIS faggot beforehand. What was, and just other ISIS stuff. And then we go on, hi, we're Vag. And they're like, that's all the time we have. Thank you.
Like, tell us about Vag.
Yeah, we rocked it.
Yeah, I think we got less listeners, actually. I think people were like, we were going to listen, and then we saw you on that, and we said
like,
no.
Nah. And then you spent $30.
Oh, yeah, to park in that parking lot.
Yeah. But they said they'll have us back on to bring the heat again.
I think I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Maybe if they'll let me Skype in. I just want to, let's just Skype in for everything.
I agree.
It'll be great when we can Skype in for comedy.
Oh my God. Sometimes I just feel like,
I'm already on autopilot on stage.
yeah. I think about this of like, I think about cloning myself where I just make my clone do everything I don't want to do. And then they're leading like the best life ever.
But that's great. And what are you doing the whole time, though? Watching Netflix?
Yeah.
Now, do other people know you exist?
I think so. They're like, I saw your clone out the other night.
She's
killing
doing.
it.
She's doing great.
She works hard and she plays hard. Like I would get fucked up.
She's a much better you.
Yeah. If you should live your life how you want your clone to live. Although I feel like mine would just be wrecked.
Drunk all the time.
Like a sex bot.
But that's fine. It's not you.
It's not me. I'm just on the couch, showered, with no jizz in my hair.
The way you like to be. I think everyone would agree we like no jizz in our hair.
The way I like to be.
After I have
Yes.
sex, I'm just like, I have to shower.
Yeah. My whole body chemistry feels off.
Yeah, it just feels like a good shower is what I need.
Mm-hmm.
After a rogering, I need a good shower.
A good rodgering. I need a shower. And
I feel like I'm at the
and
point.
then I need to do stuff with my life.
No, I don't want to do anything.
Oh, no?
I feel like as soon as I leave the house, I'm just like, I can't. My whole day is focused around getting back to my house as soon as I can.
Yeah, it's like a game.
It's like I want to do everything as fast as possible so I could just go back to the house.
Yeah, my number one goal is like to get home.
Like somebody tried to entice me out with a good time, and I was like, that sounds exhausting. The thought of having a good time. I'd rather just stay home.
What is that? I used to always have the fear of missing out, and now I'm completely fine with missing out on everything.
Is it because you feel like you can live vicariously through Facebook? Like you can see pictures and you're like, that doesn't look that great, or I don't really care.
Yeah, and then I also reflect back on all the days that I did stay out, and it wasn't like anything amazing was happening after 2 a.m.
Yeah. That's true.
Nothing crazy happened. I don't think. And then also when I moved here, like nobody does anything crazy here. Or maybe I stopped hanging out with those
I
people.
think we stopped hanging out with those people because, like, I knew a bunch of comics that were, like, just fucking each other and doing coke.
See, I was telling Joe that I was like, God, it feels like no one parties anymore. And he's like,
We're
oh,
just
no,
not.
they are. You're just not hanging around them. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we're not
"Oh,
in the coke parties.
damn it. Well, I wouldn't want to hang out. I always remember there weren't really like coke parties. You all of a sudden you would just follow all your friends and you're in this like shitty house in the middle of nowhere and people are just going to the back room all the time, and then there's like dogs fighting in the living room.
You said that. I think you told me that once before.
Yeah. Where you're like, oh,
What's going on back there?
this all of a sudden got weird.
Well, my friend told me that my friend that rescues pit bulls said that in Briarcliff, which is like a shishi area of Westchester,
Yeah.
they have these dog fighting rings where it's like lawyers and doctors and teachers who are like betting on dogs that are fighting.
That's so barbaric.
I know. And it's also like when people think of dog fights, they think of, Hispanics and black people doing it. But these are like
Yeah.
white people doing it.
Totally.
So it's
well,
everyone's doing it.
there's got to be, if there's money.
If there's money to be made, like that's the thing too, is people with money just have so much more money to do so much more addictive bad behavior. Like
Oh, completely.
gambling, drugs. Look at this lady right here standing in front of my car.
She has no idea we're podcasting.
She has no idea we're podcasting.
She
She just made eye contact though, and she walked away.
She looks like
She looks like
she's in her own movie right now.
Yeah, she looks like she's fighting on the phone with her ex-husband because he doesn't want to pick up with their dumb kids.
But she has an intense look. She's got like this. She's well put together and smoking she actually to me looks pretty cool.
She looks like she just came back from a job or something.
Yeah, what's that like?
There was something what was that one thing we wanted to talk about, whereas white supremacists said if Trump loses, they're going to fight.
Start a race war.
They're going to start a race war.
And then I said, what side are you think will win? And
I
we
said
went for
definitely.
the black community.
I said definitely black community.
I agree. Who do you think has more guns? The white supremacist community or the black community?
Well, here's another guy that doesn't know we're in the car. And it's a black guy, so I think I'm going to go with the black community. I don't know, though. I think white supremacists are just like stockpiling guns.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really good question that
But-
nobody's asked before.
Yeah, that's what I like to see at some of these debates.
I know before we start taking sides, these are the things I need
We
to
need
know.
to know who has more
What
guns.
Is your weapon situation look like?
I don't think there's that many white supremacists, though.
I really don't think so either. I say that, and then you go to the middle of the country or outside.
Why?
This reminds me of like Texas. I remember one time I drove from Houston to do a gig in this place in Texarkana, and it was back road stuff.
Mhm.
And then you're like, oh, this is why there seems to be a neck and neck race when it comes down to like liberals and Republicans.
'Cause there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's more than you think. Just because you live in New York, the whole other country does not represent
I know.
what New York looks and feels like.
I know. It is scary when you start traveling outside of New York City.
Well, Joe and I we were talking about this of like, you know, you hear like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of white on black crime, but then I was like, you know what? There was a dragging outside of Beaumont, Texas years ago.
A dragon?
Dragging, like
Oh.
white kids dragged a black guy by the truck. It was such a heinous crime. Where like, no, it's still very horrible stuff happens. We just don't hear about it in these kind of cities.
The current state of white supremacist groups in the U.S. This is the Washington Post.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see any numbers.
How many white supremacists? Well, I've heard that the Ku Klux Klan membership has risen in the last few years.
And that do you think that's because of Obama?
Yeah, I also think it's just like that the white man of being the majority they're slowly losing power, and I think it's that last of like
Well, that's
chance to
so that's what there is. So what really needs to happen right now is white people and black people need to band together against Hispanics.
yes,
That's what we really need to do because they're growing in numbers and
at
white
fast
people
birth rates.
yes, and I think white numbers are not and black numbers aren't as increasing as fast. So we really need if we're
we
smart.
gotta have babies.
If we're smart though, we'll really just band together and work together to be more powerful than the Hispanics. That's what we really need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a hard sell for some of these like real racists, but that's our only shot.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like what we were talking about earlier, Game of Thrones. Sometimes you have to form alliances with people you really don't want to.
Yeah,
at
you
the
don't
beginning.
necessarily like.
Yeah.
It says their estimates that there's a little more than 930 groups in the country right now. Most of these are white supremacist groups or white nationalist groups. It doesn't say how many people are in the groups though.
Yeah, it's hard to get a
But
accurate
it says
counting.
the number is up from 602 hate groups in 2000. So the number has gone up.
Well, I still think there's quite a bit of officials that are affiliated to some of these groups, like our senators and state reps, because they're probably
Yeah.
getting money from them.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I would definitely I would take the side of the black community for winning. Also, I think there's more heart and more for them to win.
Yeah.
And anger.
What's going to be the end result, though? Like, whoever wins, the other people are all just dead? Are they, like, indentured servants? Like, what happens?
No, maybe we have to, like, trade. We have to live in the projects.
And I already live in the Bronx.
That's true. You already are getting used to it quite fast.
I mean, I don't live, like, in the projects in the Bronx. But I
No,
already
your
live in the
neighborhood's
Bronx.
nice.
It's not that nice, but it's fine.
I
It's not like a ghetto.
No.
It's so weird because everyone just thinks the Bronx is a huge ghetto. And I'm like, not really.
No, yeah. I felt like your neighborhood felt like Astoria to me.
Yeah. It's very, like, neighborhoody.
So, all right. So we're on the black community side on this one. But we have to get.
But the thing
but
is
I
this,
like
while the
Hispanics.
whites and the blacks are fighting each other, the Hispanics are going to rise to power. That's what people don't seem to understand.
Well, Hispanics are really good about starting to do local government and get in there.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're counting on the whites and the blacks to hate each other. And that's when they're going to mobilize.
So get ready for. But
I think I'm going to go over to the Hispanic side.
You know, I really do like. I like dancing.
Me too. I like Spanish food.
I'm a huge fan of their food.
It's great.
Siestas. If we could bring siestas in the afternoon,
That'd be great. The music I could do without. I got to be honest. The music.
a little. I do like a little Selena
Yes, but it's the type of music where if I go,
and Gypsy Kings.
I like Spanish music if I know it's coming. I don't like to be surprised by it. Like during the day, I can't just like
Here it comes.
like if I walk into a Spanish restaurant and they're playing it, I'm like, cool, this is great. If I'm just at home and I hear it, it just like I'm gonna have a headache right now. I'm not in the mood to deal with this.
Yeah.
It's that type of music where I don't like to be surprised by it.
No, I hear you.
I don't like to be surprised by a lot of music though, but that's one of them I don't want to be surprised by.
If I could always be surprised by dance music and be like, oh, all right,
I don't know.
let's get into this.
No, I went to a party and all they were playing was techno, and I was like, I could do like 10 minutes of this.
Oh, do you want to build up to it?
I just don't want that much of it. I was there for maybe an hour or so, and it was all techno. I even said to the DJ, and like I know I was just dating myself because it was all kids there, and I was like, "Hey, are you only going to be playing techno?" And he was like, "No," but he did only play techno.
Oh yeah, and then probably what he thought was lighter. We were like, no, this is still techno.
I'm like, well, then what he just kind of did was mix in old hip hop with techno.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is not what I meant. I just left. I was like, this is not great.
Oh, that's what my wedding's gonna be, one big EDM party.
Are you into techno?
I like dance music, but I do
Techno though? Techno's so hard to dance to, especially if you're not drunk.
True. Well, no, I do enjoy it, but I do have to say it's the right time or right place.
Like I went to a sober AA thing.
Yeah.
And it was like kids there, like 22 years old. They were all really young, and they were all in AA already.
That's so impressive.
I know.
I wish I
like
had my
so
shit
many
together then.
Well,
Sometimes I'm like this. Are you really?
I
Why
mean,
don't you wait until you're 30?
I'm sure most of them are going to relapse. But
True.
But at least they have the groundwork, I guess.
That's true. I think we're heading to the out.
Are we? What time is it?
We're at an hour in.
Are we?
Yeah, we did really well.
The time just flies.
I know, and I thought we were gonna since we talked for 2 hours
At the
on Ari's
diner?
podcast.
No, 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours on Ari?
From
Ari?
12 to 3. Then we went to the diner for what? 2-3 hours?
And we talked there for about 2 hours.
And then we did another hour here.
All talk, no music.
That's all we did is talk.
Sometimes you're like, what? I always think of myself as being shy, but you're like, no, I have a lot to say.
We still didn't do anything where we were going to... Look at this guy. Just picked his nose, I think. Gross.
How to get in there.
We still... Okay, so we still didn't do any of the things we said we were going to do, though.
No.
I have to write to Andrea Yates. I really want to interview her.
I do, but is it going to be funny?
It doesn't have to be funny.
No, I know.
Like, I'm just... aren't you amazed by somebody that can kill 5 of their children?
Yeah, no, it is one of the most interesting things about her.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah.
look. Even if we go there and it's like a total dud,
Yeah.
we got to interview her. Your family lives in Texas. My best friend lives in Texas. I feel like
road trip.
Like, it's not the worst thing. I'm also interested in knowing how this woman copes with killing her 5 kids. I read that she's just watching videos of her kids.
I bet. Well, I'm assuming she's really bummed about it.
Yeah, I'm sure every day she's like, man, I wish I didn't kill them.
You know, guys, I really regret drowning all 4 of my
I
kids.
also wonder if her ex-husband or her husband comes to see her at all.
I hope so.
Maybe we should see if we could interview him.
I'd rather interview him. 'Cause he, to me, seems like he didn't get anything for it.
I know, but I wonder if she's resentful towards him. It would be interesting if we got to interview both of them.
That's true. Like a he said, she said.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what he said.
Well, Andrea, let me just tell you what he said.
That's not what he said.
He said that you're cuckoo bananas. He wouldn't trust you with anything. He said you shouldn't even be left alone to watch scrambled eggs. I still have to write my email for the cult. Let's see if we get some cult followers.
And then we have to make ass puss.
Ass Puss. Also,
Cum Booties.
Also, the Chick-fil-A thing.
You know, this is if we after our series finale, which is 10 years from now.
When
our
I
last
kill myself
episode.
on heroin.
I sometimes when we talk about how we're gonna die, if we're suicide, I just cut to us dead, and they're listening to our podcast, being like, "It was here all along, all of it."
All
they
of
just
it.
said it,
They said how they were going to kill themselves in episode 6.
and then they hid the bodies in the trees.
And they interviewed Andrea Yates. And she said, I'm going to drown my 2 dogs like you drowned your kids.
And they're so depressed how they say they don't do anything with their lives.
I told you the other day on stage when I was like doing mediocre, I was like, guys, I'm doing my best.
This is my best.
Yeah, guys, like I don't know what you want from me. I'm sorry.
I'm at 100%.
You're at 100%.
That's what my
That's what you would say to
100%.
them?
Yeah. This is my 100.
I'm doing my best. All right, guys. Next podcast, we're going to have I'm going to have written a letter to Andrea Yates. And you're going to have helped me with it.
I will, because I have a good penmanship.
You have great penmanship. And we're going to do the cult email on Craigslist and see if we get anyone to bite.
Let's definitely do the cult Craigslist thing.
We have to do both.
Let's see if we can start a cult.
We're going to start the cult, but we also need to see if we could interview Andrea Yates.
If we start a cult, I think we have to start dressing a little bit better than hoodies.
Well, maybe we're the hoodie cult.
Or maybe like druids, where we just get longer sweaters.
What could be... Okay, so what's the title going to be?
For our cult?
Do you want just like a more...
Are you depressed?
No. You want just more like a casual religion?
Yeah. We're a chill religion.
We're sweatpants.
We're cool. No judgment here.
What are we going to worship?
We have to make up a god. How about we just worship?
How about Zuzu?
Yes.
We worship a pug.
We'll make a painting of her with light beams coming out of her head.
We were the Lord of Pugs.
Oh, I love it.
The Lord of Pugs.
Lord of Pugs. Low pugs.
Low pugs. And then they meet her and she's just licking my other dog's asshole. And I'm like, that she's just a crazy god.
Yes. No judgment.
Into sodomy, just like the early guys.
All of our God licks assholes, and you guys can lick assholes.
Yeah.
Where you're like this, I think she wants us to lick assholes.
I mean, just go out into the world and lick assholes.
Figuratively or literally. Yeah. Either way is fine.
You're going to get whatever you want as long as you lick as many assholes as you can.
Yes. You'll catch a lot of flies licking assholes.
Is that the saying?
I think so.
Someone's going to be like, isn't it?
Why do you want flies?
A lot of bees with honey. Be like, no. Bees.
Oh, is it bees with honey? Yes. I thought it was flies, but then I'm like, why do you want flies?
Well, you could probably catch flies with shit.
I don't want bees either.
But you could probably catch flies with assholes because they're shit remnants.
True. They love that. Flies love shit. You just open your mouth and they just flock to your mouth.
All right, guys. Now we're getting crazy.
Yeah. Now we've hit it. We should do another podcast of the 8th hour where we start podcasting after 8 hours of talking.
First
so you can get the weird.
First we take a nap in the car. And then we try and then we wake up.
I love it. You have no idea a car that you walk by could be the number one podcast.
That's true. You have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening. Tell a friend about Vag, and don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe and write a good review.
Even if you hate us, just write a good review.
If you write a bad review, make sure you put 5 stars still.
Yeah,
because I think they still don't see that as a bad review.
Yeah, right. These 2 girls are cunts, but give us 5 stars.
Yeah, be like, I love this podcast. If you love shit, you'll love this podcast.
This is right up your alley. If you love shit, this is up your alley.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know what I'm thinking.